Today we're doing oil samples. Show you what that's about. I'm using the stuff from Blackstone. If you don't know about Blackstone oil analysis, you might want to just get on it because they're a really good company. I don't get any kickbacks from them, but they're just the most reliable lab that I've found. And I'll show you what those reports look like in this video. Now, I am going to do engine oil in a Jeep, engine oil in a Mazda, engine oil in a Nissan, and transmission fluid, also known as transmission oil, in a Nissan. That's what we're pulling today. We're going to show you all of those reports at the end, and we're going to show you different ways to pull them depending on where you are in your process. And then it comes with this paper here where you can write down your engine and all the stuff about your oil, the sample date, the miles on the oil if you know that. And then they ask some questions that are going to be relevant to what their process is. And then what you do is you wrap that piece of paper up and you shove it in the bottle. This is just a little cheesecloth they give you to protect any oil spills. And then, oh, what's this, a goodie? Come on, oil change sticker. That's kind of cool too, huh? Now you get to name your unit when you send in for this vehicle. This is my Jeep that I named Orange Crush because I'm a Broncos fan. The Jeep's orange. You know, I don't know. Do you get it? Doesn't matter. So what's going to happen is when you go to collect this sample, you need the engine to be warm. So you want to drive for at least about 10 minutes, not just idling. You need it to be driving because you want to burn any of the unburned fuel that gets into the oil and stuff like that that can kind of throw off your reading. So drive for about 10 minutes. And then I know it's going to be hot. You'll be all right. When you get into the shop, you're going to pull the plug on the pan. And after it starts to drain, you're going to catch a little bit in that process. Finish your oil change and then send this off to the lab and you're done. That's all there is to this. Let's see if I can film this. Now, this is my drain plug, and I'm going to prep my bottle by opening it and just setting it down. You got to be very careful. Don't let anything fall in there. Hopefully, don't splash any on my phone here. Come on now. Oh, come on. Boop. Perfect. So messy. All right. Now, we're going to be kind of quick because it's draining. And it's not going to take too long to drain out. And you want to let the first part go. And then you grab your little container here. And we're going to... Boop, and then there we go. Now we're full. And then we'll clean that up and continue to let this drain, finish our oil change, and then send this off to the lab. You know, the oil got all over the container here and it washed off the name. So I had to rewrite that. I want to talk about tape for a minute. The company says you do not have to tape this. A lot of people like to wrap it in tape so it doesn't leak. But that makes it a pain in the butt for the company when they go to do the analysis here. So instead, I'm just going to put a piece of electrical tape right over the top and bottom to keep the lid from spinning. And then I'm going to wrap it. Here we go. Just like that. Wrap it up in this cheesecloth. Then put it in the bag. And then I like to wrap the paper around the bag. And then when I'm done, I just drop it all in as a single unit. Now I still got to fill my paper out and show you two more here. This isn't the right poly tubing for this, but what we're going to do is we're going to use, got stuff blowing around here. What we're going to do is we're going to use Blackstone's tool here. It's just a siphon tool, and the poly tubing goes through this hole, and the bottle that we collect our sample screws in here. So you take the lid off, boop, pop that in, and then you pop your poly line in, and you suck it right out of the dipstick tube. How long do you need the tubing to be? Well, that dipstick's going to tell you. Let's just pull this guy out here, and then, you know what? I'm going to set this down, try to keep this engine bay somewhat nice here. So now we know that that's about the length of our poly tubing. Get back here. Plus, we need a little extra to go into the tube. Got it all measured out and cut, and I had to kind of push, wiggle, twist, push again to get it to go through because these dipsticks, you know, they bend and stuff. And so that's why you want to use a soft poly line like this. You're not going to damage anything. And it's also firm enough that you're probably not going to snap it when you put it in. But that's important to note. You're going to want to use new poly line. Don't use old brittle stuff because if this snapped halfway down your dipstick, oh boy howdy, I would not want to be you. We got our little container on there, and now we can just slip the tubing in. This is difficult to do with one hand. You should use two hands when you're doing it. And then you tighten it down. And now all you have to do is pull this and it draws fluid into here like a siphon. There we go. So then it just pulls into the tube here. And when you're done, you just release the pressure right here. And then you can pull the tube out. I'm going to go back to two hands and I'm going to let the oil drain back into the crankcase. I didn't film all of them because after the dipstick model, it's really the same thing. So I did the dipstick on those 4, and then you saw me catch the Jeep oil, and now these just have to get mailed. Cool thing about Blackstone, they actually give you these prepaid labels with tracking numbers, so you can follow your package until it reaches its destination, or you can follow mine from the video, I suppose. And yeah, that's it for that job. I'll show you what the report looks like when it comes back in about 3 to 4 weeks, which for you is just going to be a couple seconds because you're watching the video after everything was done. Got one of the reports back here, and I just want to show you have at the top, it's going to have all of your information. I black mine out, and then they're going to give you a comment section where they describe what they think is going on with your engine based on the level of metals and other things that are found in it. And then you can see over time what's happening with your engine as well, which is super helpful. You can see I have 2 samples on this Jeep that I have here, and how it looked before, how it looks now. And that just gives you an idea of how things are wearing. It's a really good thing to add to your repertoire of maintenance if you do your own stuff at home and you keep vehicles for a long period of time. Transmissions look very similar. I'm not going to show you all the different ones. I'm just going to show you this one because at the end of the day, they're all pretty similar. Ooh, boy, howdy, I would not want to be you.